Well, hello everybody, and who are you? What are you doing sitting in my living room?
I don't know, I've got dementia, man.
What have I got then? The pair of us, we need transporting after this.
It's old age, man. It's old age.
Thanks,
Don't
Ace. Ace Kefford,
you look
everybody.
good for your age, Dave, anyway.
Everybody, this is Ace Kefford. Ace.
Oh yes, good evening, folks.
You said that so nice then.
Yeah.
Good evening, folks.
It wasn't it?
No, it was never like that with that group, The Move.
Well,
Was it?
no one was it your right eye, Dave?
See, now I understand what you're saying.
No, you do, don't
For
you?
a moment there, I wonder
Where
what
you going next week?
Week, yeah, next week. Okay, well look, I've just got to write something out for Ace tonight. I won't take me a minute. Oh, this marker pen don't work. I don't know if you can see this, but I've got this little thing there, so you can probably see that, can't you? Yeah. So I've got this written out, but the marker pen don't work. I was hoping to put it in great big black ink, just in case you can't see, you know. But Ace, it's great to see you, mate.
It's great to see you. It's you, mate. I've known you for years. Since the Cedar days.
That's right. Do you know?
And we've just been talking. You'd have to excuse the voice. I've had a stroke, folks. If you don't understand me. You can't understand me. Yeah, but earlier on.
I've been stroking. No.
Yeah, but you was with the LO at the NEC, wasn't you?
I was, yeah.
That was when the last. I didn't speak or anything, but that was the last time I saw you. I thought you were dead.
No, I was definitely alive then when I was with them.
I was propped her up.
Yeah, I was propped up, yeah. Full of drugs, you know, and like...
Oh, don't mention it.
No, don't mention it. Sorry, drums, I mean, yeah.
Drums,
not
drums
drugs.
are all right.
Don't mention drugs.
You can mention drums, but not drugs.
So look, before we get chatting with Ace, I just got to tell you that ELO were in town this weekend, just gone. I went to see them on Saturday. And they were just, it was a great show as always. All them hit songs, what everybody remembers and loves. And what I was going to say was, though, on Monday, I got to open the Richard Tandy production suite out at the Birmingham Conservatoire. And that was a great honour. And I've just got a very quick video. It's all I've got to show you is this little video of us just going around the production suite there, just having a quick look around. Check this out, okay, everybody. Okay, so that was us in the production room. I was just saying to Ace that there's an exhibition there, a great big exhibition hall full of artifacts and memorabilia stuff. Right. Lots of keyboards and Richard's old Moog, which has been restored and works fine. You know, the original Moog. You know. Good. And there's pictures of Richard playing all this, and all that stuff's going to be open to the public in November. But we had a private opening, and it was really in order to announce the Richard Tandy Bursary Fund, which there's been a fund set up to help aspiring musicians.
Brilliant, no.
Yeah,
brilliant.
So it's all so Richard's name will be attached to things for years down, long after we've gone. People will still be saying, "Who's this guy,
he was a
Richard
nice
Tandy?"
bloke. I never spoke to him myself, but I know nobody ever mentioned Richard.
Well, he was, of course, a close pal of mine, so for many years.
Yeah.
So that was a real honour this week. That was me and Martin, by the way, in that shot you probably saw. But anyway, here we got Ace. Let's get on to what we got tonight now. And do you know, I think I first saw Ace at the Cedar Club, and this photograph there was taken at the Cedar Club. Yeah.
And that's how we looked when we first got together as well.
Where are you, Ace? In that you're over this side. There you are. There. That's you there. I'm back to front. That's Ace right over there. Sorry about this light that's in the thing. We've got it. There you go.
Yeah.
And that's taken on the stage at the Cedar Club. And I saw them guys play at the Sea Club, and I tell you, that was 1966, was it?
It would be 66.
And that place just shook when they struck up. I tell you, it shook up the whole of Birmingham. I was one of the other Birmingham groups, you know, and all the Birmingham musos were there watching that, and they all the mouths fell open, and they, you know, it was a real shock because they was just so professional and so in your face with what they brought, you know. Yeah. It was like wallop.
Yeah, it was.
It was. We weren't used to groups being that cheeky at that stage because things developed.
That's
like
what the challenge was. You know, Dave Pritchard out of even the other rights.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen Dave a couple of times over the last 30, 40 years, but he was that do for a tribute for Jeff Lynne in the park last year.
That's it. I was.
Was you?
I met you there. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And I was talking to him, and I realised, you know, as you know, you said the band pinched that, or he wasn't pinched in the end though. When you was in the half a dozen groups you played in, we all didn't, we just left, joined another group, got somebody else in. Don't be pinched anybody, that was just what happened.
Yeah, but what I wrote in my book, which I found was not quite correct, it was me. I spread the rumour around incorrect. I wrote in my book, because I got it off Carl Wayne, that Charlie had gone round nicking the best people out of the bands. I put the out of his own band he had Ace Kefford, out of Danny King's band he had Trevor Burton, out of the Diplomats he got Bev, and out of the Night Riders.
Remember with the Vikings with us.
Was he with the Vikings?
Yeah.
Okay. Did I get that wrong as well?
It's
all wrong.
No.
And then he had the Night Riders.
You better stop fucking that book to get sued.
Out of the Night give us a break, guys.
Go on.
Out of the Night Riders, he got Roy Wood.
Yeah.
And of course, all of those groups, I mean, especially the Night Riders, that they were like really stuck with that Roy because he was just he was the real linchpin of the operation. They weren't stuck for too long though because they got Jeff Lynne in shortly.
John Murph. That's what I was saying. That's what Dave was saying and was talking about. And he was saying, well, of course, he says we lost Roy, who was the Night Riders. He joined the Murph. He says Jeff joined us, reformed the All Rise. He says then Jeff left to join the fucking. I want to move with the Move then. You know what I mean?
I'm just going to remind you of the. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think you know.
Yeah.
Did I?
No, you didn't. No, I'm just. Yeah.
Go on. Leave you there for God's sake. And what was I saying? I forgot now.
You forgot.
78, you know.
You were talking about Jeff joined.
Oh, yeah, with Dave Pritchard.
The Night Riders, then they became the Night Riders.
Even Dave said, and I've seen Mark Sheridan who had his interviews at Terry Wallace's funeral. And Mark said, well, it had to happen. He said, because everything was so stale. And that's what me and Trevor first took. Before we met David Bowie, we were planning to put a new band together.
What's David Bowie got to do with it?
He
was in your group as well.
No, David Jones, the lower third. You're going to keep interrupting.
I need to write a bit more for my book.
You do. I think I'm all wrong.
So David Bowie, you were pals with him.
No, what happened was me and Trevor were fed up. All we could see, we playing with the Vikings and the Mayfair set, and all the lads down the street and all. Yeah. You can see yourself doing that in 30, 50 years' time, doing the same thing. Social clubs and all that sort of thing. Me and Trevor was about 16 and I was about 18. And we were dressed in mod and we didn't want to be in no fashion. And everybody was in their 20s. They all seemed like old men. And we wanted to put a new band together and play mod type songs. We seen Bowie at the Street. And then after we spoke to him, and he was great, and he was always found all dressed modern.
Was it?
He was doing exactly what me and Trevor were talking about, didn't he?
So he became a bit of a model.
Well, what they call it when you get some of the sparks you're off. Catalyst, isn't it?
Catalyst, yeah.
You said,
it's a good word.
Have you got a cat?
I've got a catalyst to put the cat in when we get the cat.
Oh, really?
A kennel. Yeah.
Well, pack it in, we'll never get Hang on.
Yeah.
Right,
So David Bowie was an inspiration for the move.
and we'd already planning
Gotcha,
to form a band.
Yeah.
We'd already approached Jez.
Yeah.
Well, we hadn't approached Jez Roden, but he was going to be the singer. And there was another guy called Terry Guy. Do you ever remember Terry?
Yeah, I remember him. I was with him in a...
Oh, well,
I went to Germany and Turkey with him,
it
yeah.
was either Jez Roden or Terry Guy was going to be the singer. That was his book call. And in my mind, before we met Bowie, Chris, my uncle, was going to be on guitar and John Bonham on drums.
John Bonham?
Yeah. But I hadn't approached him because I suddenly discovered, really, Reg and Chris were my uncles. And they've been together all the lives. Yeah. I can't split them up, can I? So, once we talked about it, we knew that we wanted to do it definitely now.
So what?
And that's when we approached Roy.
So, Reg and Chris, were they in the...
That was in A Way of Life.
Oh, okay, gotcha, yeah.
With John Bonham and Dave Pegg.
Yeah. Dave Pegg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the last version.
Wow, it's like a who's who, isn't it?
Which loads of us on those.
Yeah.
Like me groups in mine.
Look, I think we ought to play the first record that became quite successful. I was going to say quite successful. It was mega successful compared with the rest of the Birmingham groups.
Yeah.
And we've got a tape of it here.
Oh, yeah.
Sent us by Martin today, kindly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and should we give it a spin?
Yeah,
I think it's of you guys play down at... just gonna stop that there because look who's just come at the door. Keithy Smart from
Wizard.
Mongrel Wizard.
Uglies.
Who?
Uglies.
The Uglies.
Berries.
Rock and roll royalty is coming to my house tonight. How about that? So anyway, you just saw that video. That was I Can Hear the Grass Grow by The Move. That was one of their early singles. It wasn't the first one.
No, Night of Fear was the first one.
Night of Fear.
I was just putting you straight. A stinking book that you wrote. You got all.
Don't call it a stinking book.
You did.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which book?
Oh, the stinking one. You know.
Yeah, only when I told the whole general public that Carl Wayne formed The Move. Pinched everybody out, all things, nicked them, pinched them, nicked them all, pinched them out.
No, don't forget.
One game works up there. The game works up there.
Yeah, go on. What was you going to say about the stinking book? Hey?
The dirty book you called it. What was the saying?
I don't know. You hadn't said it yet, so I don't know.
Carl Wayne.
David Bowie on it.
We've spoken about his influence on forming The Move, but that record we just played, I Can Hear the Grass Grow. Yeah. That was it the third single?
I love that song.
You like that one?
Yeah, I love that. Hated Flowers in the Rain.
Well, I just started to play it, and you.
Well, that's what I don't.
You said
that's what I'm going to put that over your head then. When you did
that guitar?
Yeah.
I mean, I did my best. No. You do your best, don't you?
Keep your hands down. Leave it alone, Dave.
Do you know, this is the reaction I get when I go out and play. People want to hit me over the head with the guitar. I don't understand it.
Punk you in. I punked you.
No, but I'm supposed to hit the audience over the head, aren't you, with the punk?
You know how old we are. Well, you confuse them in there. I'm getting lost where we are and what we're talking about now. What was I saying?
I don't know.
Yeah, we after The Move.
Yeah.
After talking to David Bowie, we didn't get Chris Jones and John Bonham to join. So Roy was the second choice actually. So we picked Roy next.
Oh dear.
I ain't gonna lie, that is
looks like it was a group full of second choices. The singer was supposed to be John. What was he?
Jez Roden.
Jez Roden.
Shakedown Sounds.
Shakedown Sounds.
And Terry Guy.
Terry Guy
was another one. And he turned us down.
Terry Guy.
Yeah, we went to Turkey with him.
He just said that. And that was just, I mean, you know.
See this picture here? This is...
outside the local.
I won't-
Under there, you wouldn't think, but
On the side where Keithy Smart is, that guy there is Tony
He had
Secunda.
turn-ups on his underpants.
he had what?
Turn-ups on his underpants.
That's Tony Secunda there, and the late Tony Secunda. And
He was
Secunda,
never-
he had all the money, he did.
Tony Secunda was the architect of the moves, publicity
Roy Wood
stunts.
losing all his royalties.
And this is a really nice picture, look, because here we got Charlie Watts. I'll just try and get him so you can see it. How do I, it's very hard, but it's back to front. Right, you've got Charlie Watts over this side, look there, and next to him is Ace Kefford, and then who's the guy?
Alan Harris, he's a road manager.
A roadie.
Right.
And then Trevor Burton's on the other side. Yeah, so that's a really nice picture. Was that taken?
That was Charlie Wayne.
That was at Paris Olympia.
You said Charlie Watts.
Charlie Watts, yeah. That was at Paris Olympia.
Yeah.
At in Paris.
Were
obviously.
you trying to nick him out? The Rolling Stones, were you?
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, you're waiting to see there, and everybody's like the Bills walking into a room, wouldn't it? So everybody's in this bar and waiting for the Stones to turn up. So we're having a drink, and Jagger comes in and puts his head up like that, and he goes, "Ice, how are you, man?" I don't want to pick out these lads, you know, tell them that people I've met or anything.
Well,
yeah, and they come over, and then Brian Jones come in, and he was about that big. Really, he was smaller than small faces, Brian Jones, really little. And
Then
then
fell in the deep end, didn't he?
I thought, I just really didn't think about him actually. It sounded like the move. It was when he left him, like, and he killed himself or he accident. But yeah, and we met the Stones there, and that was it. There, that's where you see him. Is that all right now, or is that too confusing?
No, that's fine.
You were all starting out then, though, weren't you?
That
They were
was
all pretty fresh.
that where the Stones was about. It was after the first. Was it? Not Fair. That was it.
Yeah.
So we were otherwise
Yeah.
we wouldn't have been on the bill with them, would we? If it would have been just been something.
No. But, yeah, I mean, the Stones and the Beatles at that time were pretty much established. Everybody else was like yourselves. You know, you were climbing and building.
Yeah,
And,
you
know,
got the Who, and you got
the Who
small
were building,
faces
climbing.
and all,
You know, they weren't big
But
wigs.
that was Tony's ambition, really, was to put you in that circuit.
Yeah.
Them to open people. He was a great bloke, Tony. He's a really lovely guy. And I see him, if he was still alive today, I'd sit down and have a good laugh. And
Roy
chat
don't
with
speak
him.
very well of it.
No, well, he had all them. I never. This has been
We're getting all the inside information here, guys.
I
I mean,
had a hit LP, 4 hit singles, and I've never to this day received a penny out of any of it. Now I'm on Rollwood. About me.
and who did you say had all the lolly?
Tony
Secunda.
Well, I don't know about it, but somebody did.
Somebody did.
Yeah, somebody did.
Fair enough. Well, there you go. That's rock and roll. That's what happens.
I don't want to sound bitter or anything, but I'm just straightening out.
But
Because you want to put that in your book.
It's a good job he's dead. It's a good job
Well,
he's dead.
yeah, 'cause
you know-
a writ landed on your door.
I could get hold of Donald and get him to see him off.
I'd put a lot of things in my book, Ace, if I hadn't already written it. Now. I mean, now you come up and you say it's all wrong. Like, yeah. Well, I did get some things wrong, as I admit it, but it was.
The only thing you got wrong was like Charlie telling you that he formed the move and you believe in it.
No, I don't know if he specifically told me, but he made it sound like he'd been the one to go and canvass all these people and to get them all together.
Well, it started with the 2 young ones, me and Trev. That's how it started.
The young ones.
Well, I was about 18 and he was about 16. But you know, soccer.
He was about 16.
Even in them days, everybody dressed old-fashioned, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, the mod thing come in. What 2 young girls going to do? And we was going out on stage with the rest of the Vikings. They still got them Beatles suits on with velvet collars, and there was movie
with the Vikings.
Yeah. I like this movie with the
velvet
Vikings.
collar.
I got that's it. I got a parka on, massive parka with fishtail, and the rest of them must have got the suits on. So it was obvious something was going on, and that's how Cole joined the move. He pulled me up one night and said, "What's going on, Ace?" He says, "Between you and Trevor," I said, "Something's going on." And we were looking for another singer. And we thought he wouldn't want to train in dress like us and come with the move because he was doing all them ballads.
Who was that?
Carl.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't ask him to join. He asked for the job. And if you're willing to change your image and you want to sing all this stuff that we're going to new stuff we're going to record, it's fine.
Did you see the description in the front of that book by Jim McCarthy? Have you seen that, Jim?
Oh,
McCarthy?
yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Have you seen the bit that Manchester poet bloke? What's his name?
Oh yeah,
He said it's a cruise ship singer. What was it about? Some worn down mods or something?
Yeah. Okay, guys, just
okay,
listen up.
John Cooper Clarke, yeah, that's it.
I'm just playing this.
It seems that all my dreams
This is Ace Kefford.
are visions of what is to be. At the end of the night, when I turn out the lights, hope for the future I see.
People convention,
Pictures so clear, alive without fear, changed by the love from within.
coming in the
At the end of the day, I get down and pray, and that's when I hear the calling. You gotta play by the rules, you sinners and fools. If you don't, you will learn your first lesson. All life is to live, and love is to give. And so you give all you can without question. If you're running around with your feet on the ground, don't you know that your chances are slim?
This is on YouTube, everybody. You grab hold of this.
the Fairport Convention doing it back in.
That's right. It's called Ace Kefford with Fairport Convention.
Now the chorus is your voice. No.
Hey, somebody's got a fiddle out.
On the fiddle again. Surely in my life.
Okay, so that's that. You can check that out on YouTube. It's called The Calling, and it's and let me just say, it's called Ace Kefford with Fairport Convention. There's 3 songs altogether. I think that's the last of the three tunes there. And you can catch up with that on YouTube. Look for it under Ace Kefford with Fairport Convention. So that's Fairport. That's the guy at Fairport playing the fiddle, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know what his name. Chris's name was. Not the usual. He just come to do the session.
Okay.
But he joined them after that.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that great sounding voice on that. Ace.
Think you?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I was expecting. I'd learnt the guitar before that. I thought Ace will come and sing that for us tonight.
No, I can't do that, mate.
I've never heard you sing like that.
No, well, the thing was, when I was
No,
with
I
the
haven't
move,
either.
I used to sing like a bluesy voice. Steve Winwood, really, if I'm honest. You know what I mean? And you got two things. When I started writing, and I could only write pop songs, I wanted to write soul music, and I couldn't write it. Everything that came out was a pop song. And I thought, well, I'm going to go through the rest of my life trying to imitate Steve Winwood, or I'm going to just sing as myself. And that's why it all sounds like that. People have said it before.
It's good.
We expected you to do all the, where's all the, you know, and all that stuff.
All the what?
I never come in on that. You got to watch him, you know.
Yeah, we need more. Oh, yeah. Oh. There was a lot of on that move stuff, wasn't there? Hey?
Oh, yeah.
It was all.
Charlie did all that, didn't he? Ooh! Ooh! Ooh!
Do you know that group, The Move, they used to chop up TVs on stage. Whose idea was that? Secunda.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. We went to this posh club called the Belfry. I mean, I thought it was posh before this lot, but like there they are. They're on at the Belfry at this like golf club place out in North Birmingham, and on comes the Move, and the roadie Opsy brings this telly out, and while they're playing this solo that went on for about 3 years, it was just this. And the lights are flashing. So this television comes in the middle of the stage, like, and you're thinking, what's going on? And then Carl Wayne appears with an axe, and he kind of walks around this telly like a demented something, like staring at it, like he's gone loony or something.
Building up.
And you know, and you're thinking, you know, what's going on? And suddenly he like attacks this telly with the axe, wallop, and like of course the thing implodes because they're like a vacuum inside, aren't they? I mean they're quite dangerous actually when they implode, you know. You're like, but anyway, he chops this thing up. The old vacuum cathode ray tube tellies this is, and of course it goes bang and everything, and he chops it to be. But the symbology of like because the television was of course the hub in every living room.
It was a one-eyed monster of the 20th century. That's what we were told to say it was.
That's a great phrase.
Didn't you chop a car up once?
We did it was it the Roundhouse?
Ah.
Yeah. We was on with the Who, and Tony, we knew the car was coming in, but he said, I want you in the dressing room, don't play any of the stuff that you usually do, I want you to do rock and roll. Which was when Trevor started singing the old Eddie Cochran songs. So we did rock and roll songs.
Ah.
And you see, gave him his teeth and all. And we didn't know, but we got two strippers on as well. Yeah? And Charlie jumped on the car off the stage onto the big pink Cadillac. Got the action, he's chopping the car up. And all the audience joined in, as rocking the car, like a riot, you know.
And the guy come in with a splash suit and said, "What are you doing with my car?"
It's not that one.
You got the wrong car park.
Yeah.
So anyway, I jumped that, and the audience never took that nice, just the strippers or anything. That was all interested in wrecking the car. But the best part was, when that was all over and finished, the Who had got to go on after that.
Well, what an anticlimax, eh? The Who, they were just smashing guitars up, I mean, bad boy.
Yeah, but they got to follow that, you know what I mean? Tony's idea, we would have done it, you know?
Well,
so he knew everything that he was doing, or he knew that it was going to cause publicity.
I am.
Publicity, that's what we were built on publicity, really. And another one was that we had a residency at, we went back to the Marquee and we had Hit Records. And we did that palaver with the television and all that. And in the newspapers the next day, the fire brigade turned up because they said that Marquee was on fire. And
the Marquee?
And the mover chopped all the stage up and everything. It was Tony who'd found a fire brigade. See, you know, you got to give, like the others said, yesterday, nobody knows who you was. Today, everybody knows who you are. That was Tony's outlook on it, which is true.
Okay.
But you've got to be the mugs that got to put me all the trouble you get from it all going to court and not know why you're there.
He didn't care, did he?
No.
Well, I think you can get a flavour of what rock and roll is like when you hit the big time, because Ace was in the big time there. I've never been in that kind of big time. I've been in sort of on the fringes of it with ELO, and I've seen a few.
I'll get you
things.
in the big time.
Thanks, Ace. Yeah, thanks,
Never
mate.
been sued by the Prime Minister.
That's right. I've never been sued. That's right. I've never been sued by. I mean, Ace was sued by the Prime Minister. Harold Wilson took them all to court.
We never knew anything about it.
And had all the money off Flowers in the Rain, which is their biggest hit single. The first record to be played on Radio 1, I believe. And it was like a mega. It was in the press everywhere. It made them mega famous because it was the Prime Minister suing them. Yeah. And I remember Carl telling me, I've probably got this wrong, so you'll probably correct me, but Carl told me about that.
Come on, get it out.
Well, I don't know if I should say, but Roy Wood's folks went down to see Secunda and said how disturbed they were that their son wasn't getting any royalties off that record because Secunda had done this stunt which had caused the royalties to go to what was it, a charity of the Prime Minister's choice. So and they sat there and on Secunda's desk there was
Stoke Mandeville was one of the ones that broke it.
Nothing to do with me.
No, but I'm saying it isn't it?
Yeah.
On the desk of Secunda's desk, there was a daily sketch, and in that time there used to have little OXO at the top corner. There's a little ad for OXO in the top right hand corner or whatever, the left hand corner of the daily sketch. You know, do you remember that, the daily sketches? They used to have the lads.
I remember the pipe.
Each side. And Tony Secunda, he says, you see that? And it was a tiny little ad in the top right the corner of the newspaper. He says that cost £3,000, and they went, oh. And then he got a newspaper ad that said the whole front of the newspaper was pop star Prime Minister sues pop group over the whole front page. And he said, you see that? That didn't cost anything, and that was his excuse for that was the reason.
He needs to speak to Roy about that.
I'll tell you about that, right? We all suffered. They want the money. I was at Secunda's flat. And Tony says, jump in the car with me. She says, we'll go and pick the newspapers up. And we went down, picked all the newspapers up, and he walked back to the car, and there were pages like newspapers. Fell on the car laughing, opened the car door, and threw them at me. And every page, front page of every paper was... and I didn't know anything about it. So I went back and Carl was asleep in bed. I threw all the papers at him. What's going on? I said, I'm leaving, mate. I'm off. I'm leaving the country. I'm boy.
Yeah, it was said in that put Jim's book, you're leaving the country, going down on the whites.
That's about as far as I could get with my whites.
But the irony of it is that it was true.
It was true.
And she admitted it.
He's had to come out now. And if Carl was alive now, I bet you any money, because better luck to Charlie, if he can't do anything and he could get it sorted, he would do it. But surely now there should be a right to say, you sued us for that, had all that money all them years. Yeah. And it was true.
Perjury.
So, anyway, we're just having a counter claim coming here. There's going to be a counter claim against the Wilson estate for how many millions?
This is my solicitor.
That's a solicitor over there. And so you'll be reading all about it, no doubt, in due course. But listen, it's been great to have Ace here tonight. Ace has like moved in a different echelon to me. That's a good word. And he's moved in a different stream to me. And of course, he was right at the sharp end of rock and roll stuff that went on, one of which was this caper they did which made them mega famous, which cost them dear in terms of money and all kinds of other things that came at them because of that legal stuff. But anyway, it's been great to have Ace just recounting all these things. I'm sorry there's no live music tonight. We'll make up for it maybe next week. But look, we had Keithy Smart as well, so we're doubly blessed. And Ace, it's been great to have you, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Put it there.
Good to see you. I never realised you were such a nice bloke, you know. I knew you was.
Get off, mate. When you want.
I always knew you was a nutter. No, it's been great to meet you, Dave, after all these years.
That's right. We never really met until last year when you was at that Castle Bromwich thing.
Yeah, that's.
And you were in the audience. I went, and
that's right.
We kind of got chatting.
We got out of our car, and you were getting out of your car, and we bumped into each other, didn't we?
Was that it? Oh yeah, we did. That's right.
Martin was. And you tried to help me down the steps.
Did I? Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Did I?
Yeah, with your boot.
You've never forgiven me for that, have you? Anyway.
No, it's been great anyway. Cheers.
There's another one in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, there is, yeah. Another one, another Castle Bromwich do August the 3rd at Castle Bromwich, everybody.
Right.
We'll give you some update on that in the future time. We're going to sign off for tonight. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
We got, okay.